Hey guys.
So, we're here to talk today about the shootings that occurred in Orlando and talk about our feelings. We were asked by a couple of people just to come through and say what some of our thoughts were.
Right.
And for honestly, I've been speechless. And what happens is that I try to stay off of social media, but social media it makes you more angry than you would have been just looking at other people's responses. But deeply, I am saddened by the horrific acts that happened, and it just it just causes a moment of pause. Honestly, it causes a moment of prayer, and I've been praying, and it just makes you reevaluate where we are in the country at this moment for one person to go into a place of establishment and kill people.
And for me, like it really makes me sick to my stomach. The Snapchat video that the girl released, with her, partying in a club and then hearing the gunshots like the back to back to back, that just totally blows my mind because I can't imagine, myself being in that type of situation. Just I did look at a couple of clips of all the members, the victims who lost their lives with their partners, with their friends, and it's just like sad that the way the media is taking a hold of this, the way my Facebook followers are taking a hold of this, the way they're trying to make this either a campaign ploy or, a religion or us versus them type of thing. And I just don't think it's fair because at the end of the day, 50 people are dead.
And I think what makes me so upset is I think a lot of people are so upset by the term, this is the worst mass shooting in American history. So then a lot of people bring up massacres and they bring up a lot of race riots that don't fit into our current idea of what is terrorism today. And it just seems like a lot of agenda pushing. It just seems like a lot of people want to compare this situation to a lot of race riots and African American massacres that don't fit into the current climate that we're currently dealing with. It's almost comparing apples to oranges, which isn't fair. Because if your first thought after you hear that people have died are, oh, it's just LGBT, or oh, it's just gay people, or oh, this is in no comparison to massacres that have happened in the 1900s. I mean, it's just not fair because at the end of the day, lives were lost, and it just causes me so much pause to think that when I see people that I know, people, my friends, who are saying, oh, well, this isn't the largest massacre, that's your first thought about this. It scares me. It scares me what the face of terror looks like today and how easily this turns into Islam versus Christianity, religion versus prayer, love versus love. It's scary how divisive this makes people, and how people look toward the political climate, because people's lives were lost, but we want to know what Hillary's going to say. We want to know what Trump has to say. And that's scary because I want to know, are these families okay? I want to
Right.
know, I want to hear from these survivors who have to deal with this for the rest of their lives. And it's just not fair that this gets turned into a political, racial, sexual orientation campaign for people.
And I mean, honestly, like people are missing the bigger picture because that could have been any one of us. It could have been a family member. There's still people. There's bodies that still are unidentified, and people are just going on. And I remember you said something yesterday about people being desensitized to the whole
Yes.
thing, like because it didn't directly impact them. But to me personally, whether you're in the LGBT community, black, white, whatever your religion, it should directly impact you because these people are you and I. Like there's not a big difference, So I just don't understand how people can just carry on like this is just not something major. Like this is textbook right here. This is stuff that our kids are going to learn about.
And what people don't understand is the same hatred, the same ideology, the same thought process, the same illness that makes someone go into a club and kill people just for the people that they love is the same thing that makes people blow up abortion clinics. It's the same thing that makes people bomb churches. It's the same thing that makes a racist cop shoot an African American boy that is unarmed. That's the same thought process. And me being an African American, being a woman, and being lesbian, it's been countless amendments just for me to be able to live in this country comfortably. And I'm not going to choose. I'm not going to choose whether this is a black issue, a gay issue, a woman issue, a man issue. It's just an issue, period. Because If we can separate this and try to compare it to certain situations, that's not fair, and that's disrespectful to the people who have to become martyrs for this. It's not fair, and it's not right. And 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 it's scary, but I know what people think is that, we should shrink back in fear, but that's not what this is about.
Right.
Because we still have to live, and by not living our lives loudly and proudly makes that person
They won.
win.
Right, they won, and they did not. So I think, like my wife said, that we can't take fair from this. Like, we have to continue to build strong. We have to continue to be a people in our community, be strong for one another. I mean, there are so many people against us. We should not be the ones against us. We shouldn't be battling down over, like, who is supporting, who's not, who's putting stuff on Facebook, who's not, this, and that. I mean, at the end of the day, this touched us home in more ways than one. This is our community that's just shedding away right now because of this event. So I think that people need to just, embrace what's happened, take it for what it is, and just know that we have to keep living. We have to keep living. This is not a point where we stick to fear.
And I also think it speaks to tolerance, and how I'm not a proponent of tolerance. I don't think that we should just live life and whatever you do in your home is whatever. I think we should be teaching people acceptance, because this is horrible. This is horrible, and it's not horrible just because of who these people are. It's horrible because someone felt okay to take someone's life. Like, I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual person. I'm very connected, and I feel that that's a gift that the Lord gave, that someone was so comfortable and so confident in taking away, and that scares me to my core, that you could actually take someone's heartbeat, someone's life, and that these people are brothers, sisters, mothers, daughters, sons, and lovers, and they were taken away.
And then there's stories out there from a survivor. He mentioned that the gunman actually laughed during this process, but that video is interesting to me overall, simply because this guy spoke about two of his friends, passing away right in front of his eye due to this gunman, and he was able to get on camera with no emotion, show his wounds, and then said, "Tune in at 5 p.m. so you can get peace." How can you get peace from a situation where this is a bloodbath? How do you get peace from seeing your friends? How do you even do an interview when you just said your friend got shot in the back? Like, how do you do that? Like, to me, it just, people like that are interesting. Like, honestly, no bullshit, it makes me feel like you just got a check and you're gonna just do an interview because somebody came to you and was like, you're one of the survivors, we need it. He had no remorse in that interview. It's just sad. It's really sad for him to be one of the victims and to have that, type of response. You tell me in one breath that your friends passed away and you are just sitting there like, tune in at 5.
It's just scary. And to think of, we grew up with Columbine. We grew up with this mass shooting ideology. We grew up with 9/11. We grew up with this face of terror, and it's changed. The whole scope of it has changed. And if you look up how many mass shootings there have been in the last couple of years, it's scary. It's scary that people, and I don't like to get political all the time, but it is unfortunately scary how easily people can get certain guns that are made for the use of massacres, that are made of the use to specifically kill a large number of people in a short amount of time. It's scary. And it also makes me question, like, how do you bring a child up? Like, how are mothers explaining this to their children?
If you guys are a mother, we would love to hear it. Let us know how you are explaining this to your kids. Overall, everyone, just share like how this affected you. I mean, this is something that needs to be talked about in any forum, whether YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Let's talk about it, because at the end of the day, this is present day. This is in our community. This is our world. This is our people who are affected. So let's talk about it.
And our community meaning everyone, because if you think that this is just a gay issue, it's not. It's not a Florida issue. It's not an Orlando issue. This is an American issue. This is a global, international issue.
But let's not forget that our LGBT community was targeted. we were targeted.
I mean, we were
It
targeted,
was a hate
but
crime.
It definitely is a hate crime
Because
but
they could have went to any club down on that same strip, but they
no,
chose
I think
it.
I think it was very specified, but I think I'm not into the divisiveness. I'm not into just saying, yes, this was LGBT. That is very important, but I think with some people don't feel it because they don't feel it's their community. They don't feel like it didn't hit home to them. And I can understand that to a certain degree because certain things don't hit home to me until it does impact my community, but that's something I'm wanting to change about myself because at the end of the day, I mean, this hits close to home, and it could be your home, it could be your city, it could be your sister, it could be your brother. Like this is just an issue.
It is, guys. So let's talk about it. You know, like I said, especially to the mothers, I would love to hear mothers, fathers. How are you explaining this to your kids or whatever? Did they talk about it in school today? Our followers that are overseas, how is the coverage over where you are? Like, what information are you guys getting? You know, let's just, like I said, let's talk about it. Make sure you guys comment below, share the video, let's spread it. Let's start working on our community as a whole, America as a whole.
And working on ourselves.
And ourselves,
too.
guys. Love will always overcome hate. So this time, guys, let's all respond to all these ignorant messages on social media. Let's just kill them with kindness this time. Let's show how strong we are. Let's just respond with love. All right, guys. Everybody, make sure you guys stay prayed up. If you're going out to these Pride events, I know New York Pride is next week. Everybody, just be aware of your surroundings and just be safe. And still enjoy it because this is our life and we still need to celebrate. Just be safe, guys.
Be safe. Bye.